Good morning. So, in our last class, we were talking about words that trace their origins to meaning, to the names of certain important people in our history, and how they have come to form an important part, a significant part of our regular vocabulary. Now, I am going to move on to those Latin words which have become very significant to our day to day speech, in writing as well as in speaking, and generally in higher order kind of writing. Remember, the English language has borrowed several words from other languages, including French, German, Greek, and also languages from many parts of India, including Hindi. So, English, as I told you in the last class, is a very let us say adaptive and flexible language that is open to accepting words from all over the world. So, Latin of course was one of the most prominent languages in ancient times, and English borrows a lot from Latin. So, the first word that I wanted to discuss is a fortiori. A fortiori. It means for the more compelling reasons, all the more. Now, this does not mean that you insert or impose these words anywhere, as in even in those situations which do not ask for such vocabulary. See, it is heavy sounding, but you have to be very comfortable with these kinds of words and expressions in order to use in your writing or speaking. Otherwise, the result could be unintentionally funny, creating a comic situation using words where they are not really needed. So, we are talking basically about developing vocabulary. So, I cannot be giving you simple words. I need to familiarize you with more complex vocabulary. However, this does not mean that you use these words in any which way you want to. So, please keep these ideas or suggestions in mind when you write. In reading, you will come across these expressions very frequently. Next word is ad nauseam, N-A-U-S-E-U-M, ad nauseam, which means to a sickening or disgusting degree. Nausea, as you know, originally meant sickness. To anything that suggests something to a disgusting degree. Nausea was originally a kind of seasicknessness. You get nausea if you are on board on ship. So, this is a sickening or disgusting feeling. Next word is alter ego, A-L-T-E-R-E-G-O, which means a second self. You are somebody's alter ego, which means you are almost like a second version of that person, a bosom friend, a very close friend, an alter ego. Next word is amicus curiae, a friend of the court, a person who voluntarily or at the request of a judge gives advice or presents a brief in a case in which he is not legally involved. So, he becomes a friend of the court, amicus curiae. Next word is annus mirabilis, A-N-N-U-S, annus mirabilis, M-I-R-A-B-I-L-I-S, which means a wonderful year, a year in which great events took place or take place, a wonderful year, annus mirabilis. Next word is antebellum, A-N-T-E-B-E-L-L-U-M, which means before the war, applies specifically or especially to the period before the American Civil War. American Civil War 1861 to 65, period before that is antebellum, before the war. Next word is, look at this, a posteriori, which is reasoning based on observed facts, a very popular word. Latin has become a very common language, especially in our judicial system, and many of our journalists, they are very fond of using words from the Latin language. This I come across very frequently in newspapers and higher order magazines. So, a posteriori, reasoning based on observing facts. It applies to conclusions arrived at or after, that is post the study of the facts, which also means inductive reasoning. This is opposite to a priori. A posteriori, after, a priori, reasoning based on general principle. It is not supported by factual study. So, this is a priori reading or reasoning, and this is a posteriori reasoning. So, naturally a posteriori is superior to a priori. That is the way you have to remember. After is better than without. Next word is bona fide, BONAFIDE, which means in good faith, without fraud, true blue, genuine, honest, everything that is good. So, yeah, freedom from or free from deceit or fraud. So, bona fide. We also say bona fide certificate. Now, this you may have come across very frequently in school or job purposes or something. So, but you get a bona fide certificate, which is a certificate which is honest and is not trying to deceive the potential employees or people who are the potential employer and people or perhaps who are giving you admission in some college or school. So, bona fide certificate, honesty, mark of honesty. Next word is casus belli, which is an event or situation used as a pretext for going to war, a cause of war. So, casus belli. An excuse to go to war, a situation used as a pretext for going to war. Next word is caveat emptor, CAVEAT, caveat emptor, EMPTOR, which means let the buyer beware. It is a legal phrase implying the purchaser buys a product at his own risk, caveat emptor. Next word is cui bono. Cui bono was first used by a Roman magistrate to indicate that in every crime one must look for the purpose, for the person who stands to gain by the crime, for whose good, for what purpose. So, cui bono, so it is a legalese, for whose good. De facto, again a very commonly used, it almost the frequency with which it appears, it almost looks as if it is an English word, and a word from the English language. DE facto, FACTO, which means functioning, something which is functioning in reality. A de facto government is one which is set up and exists in fact, although it is not yet recognized legally de jure, but it is de facto, it is in fact, it is in reality. The word facto should give you the indication, facto, DEFACTO. Next very commonly used word, it has also become an important part in drama and theatre, duce machina. In Greek theatre, whenever things would go wrong, they would employ the device of gods appearing on stage using a certain kind of machine. And so, gods from the idea was to send out a suggestion that gods are appearing from heavens to earth in order to address a situation. Intervention of gods are necessary. So, a god or goddess would appear on the Greek stage in a tragedy into view by a crane. Okay, so, they would come down via crane. The duty of this character was to ordain the ritual of the tragedy or to bring the action to a quiet close. Now, the appearance of the god was interpreted by some critics like Horace, who was a Roman poet, as a proof that the dramatist had so piled up complications that he needed divine intervention to untangle the situation. Now, we say, a person who solves a problem artificially, okay, is called a Deus machina. In films, we often use it. This character appears like a Deus machina. There was, logically not possible, but is introduced in order to give certain kind of closure to the situation, to the action, to the plot. Next word is dramatis personae, D-R-A-M-A-T-I-S, personae, P-E-R-S-O-N-A-E, characters in a play. So, we often say dramatis personae in the entire scandal. There is a big scam, and who are the characters here? Originally, it denotes, it stood for characters in a play. Now, we use it very freely, very loosely. So, chief actors, chief players in a dramatic series of events. Next word, emeritus, E-M-E-R-I-T-U-S. An emeritus was a Roman veteran, a soldier who had completed his term of service and had obtained his discharge. So, emerior is something that is obtained by service. So, therefore, we get the word emeritus. Today, the word is used or applied to a clergyman, to even university professors, college presidents, or any other official who is retired from service because of age, but still retains his rank or title in a non-official capacity. So, universities or educational institutes have emeritus professors, retired, but still hold their ranks and position. Next word is ergo, E-R-G-O, very commonly used, sometimes even inappropriately and hilariously, although unintentional comedy, so comic effects, but it means therefore. You do not really have to use a word like ergo wherever you want to, but people do these things and you should not get confused while reading. In English for competitive exams, perhaps you may be given one of these words and you should not get thrown off your balance because you do not know the meaning of these words. So, try to retain these words in your memory. Next word is ex cathedra. It means from the chair. Cathedral, the office or the center where the highest priests sit. So, from the chair, by the authority, someone in position, someone has declared an order, okay, ex cathedra. Next word, ex officio, O-F-F-I-C-I-O, which means by virtue of one's office. When an officer of an organization is on a committee, ex officio, it means that his office automatically includes his being a member of a committee. So, he is the ex officio member. Next word is ex post facto, ex post facto, F-A-C-T-O, which means from a thing done after the event or deed. So, it also means retroactive, generally applied to a law passed after the offence with which it is concerned has been committed. So, first a crime, an offense has been committed, people are so taken aback by the magnitude of it that there has to be a law now to prevent or at least to punish this. So, ex post facto, after a thing has been done. Next is flagrant delicto. It means in the very act, caught red handed while the crime is still on. So, flagrant delicto. Same word, one word I mean. As I told you, you cannot have or cannot prepare for such exams one night before the exam or even 1 month before the exam. Developing vocabulary is a very difficult task, okay, especially those who do not have a background of English language, a lifelong background of English language. So, if you need to develop it, okay, it will take a couple of months. Years would be great, but at least you need some months to prepare. Now, 1 month is never enough to have a wide range of vocabulary. You have to use it, practice it, immerse yourself. This is not to say that forget your mother tongue, but if you are not using it regularly, language wouldn't happen. If you want to develop this kind of vocabulary, and many of you may feel what's the purpose, but then you have opted for a course like this. So, that means that there is a motivation, there is a desire in you to develop your vocabulary, take it from one level to the next, which means you have to practice. So, if these words are foreign to you, they are new to you, then you need to practice them on a regular basis. Now that I have introduced these words to you, if you do not know them and if you want to know more about them, you have to look up the dictionaries, the way these words are used. So, do not just throw flagrant delicto anywhere. It has, otherwise, as I said, if you do not know where you are using it, it will appear very funny and the entire purpose will get defeated. Next word is in media res. In media, res, res. This means in the middle of things. Something has started in the middle, a movie starts in the middle of something, you do not know the back story. So, in media res, without any preliminaries. In situ, INSITU, which means in place, in its original place, which is a term used in geology and archaeology, in situ. And in toto means entirely, in full. Next word is, which is very commonly used, magnum opus. Midnight's Children is Salman Rushdie's magnum opus. It is a great work, a masterpiece, a crowning achievement. Yeah, Gitanjali, Rabindranath Tagore's magnum opus. War and Peace, Leo Tolstoy's magnum opus. Gone with the Wind was David O. Selznick's, producer David O. Selznick's magnum opus. Titanic is a movie, magnum opus, a great work, masterpiece, a crowning achievement, something that has taken lot of research and efforts and industriousness. It is not an overnight thing, it has taken years of years. So, to create something, you have to work towards, to create magnum opuses, you have to work towards that for years. Modus operandi is the manner or way of working. Okay? Your modus operandi is very unethical, I do not agree with it. So, it is a manner or a way of working. There is modus operandi and then there is modus vivendi. Modus operandi or modus vivendi. So, modus operandi means a manner of working. I do not agree with the modus operandi. His modus operandi is to wear down the opponent, and modus vivendi is manner of living. It is a way of getting along with another person or nation despite basic differences. Next word is ne plus ultra, not more beyond, which is the highest point of perfection. Ne plus ultra, NEPULS, which is plus, or ultra, ULTRA, which means the highest point of perfection. You have reached ne plus ultra. And there is a word called non sequitur, which is very common in literature and language. Non sequitur. This means it does not follow. You say something, I say, what is the time now? And the response is, I am reading a book. So, it's not a response, right? It does not follow. So, it applies to non sequitur, applies to remarks or conclusions which do not have a logical connection with what has gone before. Sometimes we also use it in cinema, does not, it is a non sequitur. So, thank you very much, and in my next class I am going to practice words that have their origins in Greek mythology, which is going to be very interesting and full of riveting anecdotes. So, see you soon.